Breakfast with the Boss. We are at www.radiovisionnetwork.com. We're here every Thursday from 9:30 to 10 o'clock. I want you to come listen to us, come see us. Keith, how you doing today?
I'm doing great.
Keith is the man behind the camera. He works with his lovely bride, Lori. They do a great job of administering this crazy business, and we are so glad to have Keith here with us each and every Thursday. This is Scott Tanker, Breakfast with the Boss. We talk about things that have to do with supervisors. We talk about promoting businesses, making employees more comfortable, making business better. Today we have a really interesting guest. I've known her for a couple of years. I can bet you would never guess what she does. Her name is Eve Elliott. Eve, how are you?
I'm great. Thanks for having me, Scott.
It's wonderful to have you. Eve is something called a voiceover talent. She has a business which basically is a voiceover agency or voiceover talent for business phone calls, for narration, for on-hold messaging, for political reasons, for CD-ROMs, multimedia.
Right.
She's been around, even though she's young looking, she's been around for a long time. She's been in Hollywood. She's been here, she's been there. You have to hear her do her thing. Eve, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for inviting me.
Oh, it's so good to have you. Listen, I don't know where to start, so we're going to start at the beginning.
Okay.
You were born where? You learned how to do this when? And let's go from there.
Okay. I was raised in Monmouth County, New Jersey.
Okay.
I went out to Ohio State University to get my bachelor's in theater arts.
So you're a Buckeye.
I'm an honorary Buckeye,
Oh
yes.
my
Go
gosh.
Bucks.
Show's over. Good.
And then I decided after I got my bachelor's that I wanted to learn some more. So I went out to get my master's at Cal State Long Beach in acting.
Sweet.
And while I was out there, right before I was getting ready to graduate, a gentleman came up to me. He had seen me in one of the plays there, and he came up to me and he said, you know, you have a great voice. Have you ever thought about voiceover? And I'm like, I don't even know what that is. And he said, well, if you're interested, I'll introduce you to somebody. And I said, oh, I have nothing to lose, sure. So as fate would have it, he introduced me to one of the animation geniuses for Hanna-Barbera.
Of all time.
His name was Dawes Butler.
Right.
And Dawes Butler and Mel Blanc were the two huge voices for Hanna-Barbera. So Dawes was the voice of every cartoon I ever grew up with. Yogi Bear, Huckleberry Hound, Augie Doggy, Elroy Jetson, Snagglepuss.
I'm
right.
going to cry.
So Dawes said, if you're interested, I will train you. And I said, okay. So I just picture and resume or demo tape in Hollywood. And I said, let's try demo tape. So I studied with Dawes for a couple of years, and then he passed away. Then I just started going out and, finding other teachers and other classes and things, and eventually got to the point where I was at a competitive level. Found a wonderful mentor. Her name was Lou Hunt, is Lou Hunt, not was. She's still alive. She's out in Phoenix, Arizona now. And I trained with Lou, and she helped me make my demo, helped get me an agent, and I just started working in the Los Angeles market. And I was out there for about 16 years. And then we just started getting to a point where we had kids and whatever, we wanted to get closer to family. So 15 years ago, we moved back to this area, and now we're in Cherry Hill, and I was able to just reach out to the recording studios and production companies and anybody that had anything to do with commercials, narrations, infomercials, on-hold messages, all of that, reach out to them and say, hey, I'm here, and I've been working ever since.
You represent individuals, you represent businesses,
Yeah.
you represent their voice. For people who call a company and you're the first voice they hear, I know, I've done it. It's such a pleasure.
Thank you.
It really is. And I know technology is wonderful. And for the price that you charge, which is incredibly reasonable, to get this everlasting, wonderful voice that's happy, that's warm and friendly, I don't know why more people don't do it.
Well, one of the things that people don't think about is that, when you go into a business, you can look somebody in the eye and see what they're wearing and whatever, and that's a first impression. But most people call a business first. And
Right.
when you call a business and it's some slovenly Joe on the other side, and he might be tripping over his words, he might have a regional dialect that makes him sound less intelligent, it doesn't make a great first impression. People should take the time to make sure that their phone systems sound professional, because it could make the little guy sound like a corporation just by having a professional voice on it.
You do.
I know, I
It's
did one for
wonderful.
you.
And it's so funny because you work in all these industries. I'm in the financial services industry. I'm in the merchant services industry, which is payment solutions for businesses.
Right.
There's plumbers, there's doctors, there's lawyers, there's accountants, there's people in every business you can think of that you put their message on phone.
Right.
And it's really, really nice. What's really interesting is that it's not something you have to really work hard at for them. You take their information, you help create the script, and it works so easy. We had such an easy time doing it. It was amazing.
I finally got a copywriter to work with me, and so now what I do is when a client's interested, we just have them fill out a quick questionnaire, they send it back, my copywriter just goes to their website or look at a brochure, she formulates a script, and within 3 days they can have a script to look over and approve before we start recording it.
Tell the audience your phone number and how to get a hold of you, and also your web address.
My web address is letevetemptyou.com, and I can be reached at 856-216-7539. And all of my demo tracks are on my website, so people can go there and listen and see if they have a need for commercials, narrations, infomercials, political spots, anything that requires a professional voice, I'm able to do out of my own studio here.
Ladies and gentlemen, I am telling you, you need to listen to what she does. We have so much more to ask you. We need to go take a commercial. We'll be right back. As a matter of fact, why don't you do the commercial for us? Tell them we'll be right back.
We'll be right back after this message.
Simply Gents, located in Marlton, New Jersey, takes care of all your grooming needs, including haircuts, straight razor shaves, massages, facial, manicures, pedicures, and waxing. To find more information or book an appointment, visit us online at www.simplygents.com. The secret weapon of a well-groomed man, Simply Gents.
When it's time for Jersey Mike's to give a sub some sizzle, this is the way. The way it's always been. The way it always should be. The way it always will be. Because that's just the way it's supposed to be. Jersey Mike's. Be a sub above.
Today's show was brought to you by Alicia Kelly of White Horse RV Center in Williamstown, New Jersey. Alicia is your RV expert. Contact Alicia at whitehorserv.com or give her a call at 856-262-1717, extension 203. When you think of RV, think Alicia Kelly.
Host of Breakfast with the Boss. I'm here with Elliott. We're talking about her voiceover talents. This is her business card. Authoritative, sophisticated, warm, friendly, sexy spokesperson, announcer, young mom with a deep, rich, low textured, sexy sound. Now that says it all, but I know I've heard a lot of you in different areas. I've heard a lot of different yous, as the saying goes.
You know, the interesting thing about voiceover is that some people can do voiceover where they do funny little voices. That's the cartoons that you hear, like watching The Simpsons and things. They can do all those little characters and accents and things. But what I do is I'm able to sound like 12 different people just by changing my emotion or attitude. So I can do a warm and friendly, which makes me sound, you know, a lot more smiley and relaxed, or I can, you know, take it down a little bit and add a little bit of that texture and all of that. So by the use of emotion, you can change it and make it sound like you're different people. So when a client calls me and says, you know, I got a script for you, I usually look over the script, sit down with them or talk to them over the phone and say, what style of read are you looking for on this? Sometimes they want it to be very announcer. Sometimes they want it to be, you know, completely casual and comfortable, like a Mike Rowe, you know, from Deadliest Catch. He's got the best casual read right now, and that's very in right now. If you notice on commercials right now, everybody is telling it, not selling it. That very laid-back, casual style of read is what people want right now. And, you know, because I've done so many areas of voiceover, I do the commercial stuff, I do the narration stuff, I do the infomercial stuff, I do a lot of e-learning stuff. So I'm able to adjust to all of those areas of the craft and do the style of read that that client might be looking for their project.
And this is such a passion of yours, because I've known you for a few years, and you do a great job. And now I understand offline you were telling me you're teaching other people how to do it.
I am. Recently, back in March, the Courier Post did an article about me, and it landed on the front page, as one of my friends says, above the fold. And so there was this giant picture of me that says, look who's talking. And when I met with the interviewer, he was saying to me, you know, what is something that you'd like to be doing more of? And I said teaching, because when I was in Los Angeles and I was a student of Lou Hunt at Word of Mouth Productions, I also became a teacher for her. So I taught for her for several years, and then when I came here, I just kind of felt like I wasn't really ready to do that yet. And then he put in the article that if anybody's interested in learning about voiceover, you know, to contact me. And I had more than a dozen people contact me, and I sat down with each and every one of them over a cup of coffee, you know, no fee, just to tell them about the industry and see if this is something that they really want to get involved with. Because everybody has said to, you know, somebody, oh, you have such a great voice, you should be on radio. And that might be true, but there's a lot more to it than just getting in front of the microphone. There's a whole craft to learn. And so from that, you know, dozen or so people, I've gotten about 4 students that I'm working with, and I feel so good being able to share what I know and teach them the craft and watch them just fly with it. And you know, the funny thing is that one of them is doing so well that she's not going to be with me very long. She really isn't. She's on her way to making her demo. She really seems to have it. And while I could take her money for a long time and, you know, bilk her, that's not who I am. That's not who I am at all. I want to see people do well, and I have a lot of integrity. So
You have commercials.
Yeah.
You have e-learning tapes. Narrations. You probably have some interesting stories you might be able to share with us. So I'm going to put you on the spot, and I'm going to ask you to see if anything funny somebody ever asked you to do or be. Have you been an animal, you know, in the background, or a voice for an animal, or?
No, I guess the strangest thing was that I did was there was a TV show called Love and War, and it was Jay Thomas and Susan Day, for those of you who remember who these people were. And anyway, it was a sitcom, and I had to be this voice that there was a shot fired. Apparently they were out in the woods or something, and there was this cabin that they were staying at, and they hear a shot fire, and they hear this voice yell, "Run, Jody, run!"
That's you.
And that was me. And I had to go to the set. I will never forget this. I had to go on set. We had to sit around and do a whole table read and everything. And I go on set, and then they do their thing, and then the director says, "Okay, everybody, shh, shh, shh. Miss Elliott's going to do her thing now." And they drop down a microphone, and 3 times I go, "Run, Jody, run! Run, Jody!" I did 3 times, and Jay Thomas looks at me, and they go, "Okay, cut, cut, cut. That's it. Have a great day." And he looks at me and goes, "That's it? That's all she does?" And the director goes, "Yeah, she, you know, run, Jody, run. That's the line." He goes, "I want her job." So it was great. It was really great.
Funny. You probably met some interesting people too.
I have, you know, and I've met a lot of stars doing along the way. One of the things that started to happen in Los Angeles when I was sort of at my ending years in LA was that the stars broke into the market. You hear a star in every commercial now.
Right.
And so I had the opportunity to meet and work with Dan Castellaneta. I got to work with Jane Lynch. I mean, there was various people that I got to work with.
Hold that thought. We're going to be right back.
Okay.
I want to talk about more of those things. This is Scott Tanker, Eve Elliott. Eve is from All About Eve. Let her tempt you with her voiceover narration talent. Scott Tanker is the host of Breakfast with the Boss. We'll be right back after these messages.
Extra Innings is the nation's premier indoor baseball and softball training center, featuring indoor batting cages, 7 multi-use tunnels, and training rooms. Extra Innings can provide professional instruction, private and group lessons, and the best year-round clinics. Along with a nationally recognized pro shop that features the latest and widest selection of equipment and apparel, our experienced staff can provide you with the right instruction and help you find the best equipment for your ability and budget. Extra Innings, where the game never ends.
When it's time for Jersey Mike's to make a really great sub, this is what we do. It's what we've been doing. It's what we've always done. It's what we'll always do. So what are you doing? Jersey Mike's. Be a sub above.
Today's show has been sponsored by More Than Gifts. Come see our new location in Marlton, New Jersey. Not just gifts, but more.
Elliott, here I am, host of Breakfast with the Boss. We're talking to Eve about lots of different things, but right before we went to message, We asked her some of the famous people she's met and some anecdotes, and I might have cut you short. I don't know if anybody else you met you wanted to share with us.
I've just met various people.
Tell us about
who are-
Mel. Mel, have you met Mel Blount when you were younger? Did you meet
No,
Mel?
I didn't meet Mel Blanc.
Oh, Blank, yeah.
I did not. I just got to spend my time with Dawes. But
Okay.
I will tell you that that man was truly amazing and such a giving, loving person. And, you know, his work will just live on in film and cartoons for, you know.
Now, what's really interesting about voiceover talent, people don't realize how many things are voiceover talent
Yes.
sent to them by vis-a-vis radio or TV mostly. But even now on the internet, they do voiceover.
Right.
So I understand through offline we're talking about the more recent events, and I was told never to speak about sex, religion,
Or politics.
or politics, but we're going to have to talk about politics.
Yeah.
You do political commercials.
Yeah, I do political ads for various campaigns. And you know, the interesting thing is about what I do, and with the advent of technology, I don't just have to do it for here. I can be doing a commercial for a
From
candidate in
Montana.
California,
Yeah.
in Montana,
Yeah.
in Louisiana. So I'm able to do work for anybody, anywhere. It's not limited to just New Jersey, Pennsylvania, Delaware.
Very
When
cool.
you're a voice talent, you work for everybody, everywhere. And so that's the great thing. With the advent of technology, you know, somebody can just send me a script, I can record it, and within an hour they can have it back to them.
This is Eve Elliott, voiceover talent expert. Her phone number, I gotta tell you, is 609-238-4370. That's her cell number.
Right.
Her home number is 856-216-7539. It's letevetemptyou.com. LETEVETEMPTYOU.com.
Right.
And she's been doing this for such a long time.
25
She-
years.
25 years, which is hard to believe. Must
I
have started
know.
when you were 6 years old.
Thank you.
She has a great voice. She does my personal email, which has a couple twists to it. She does so many other personal emails and voice messaging for other people, commercials, you name it. I think you need to listen to her. But more importantly, if you're a business and you want to sound professional, I'm telling you, this is the best money you ever spent.
Yeah, and it's not a lot of money, you're right.
And it's adjustable.
Yeah.
It's not like she's going away. You can make adjustments, and she can talk to you about that, because I know we've done that.
Right, sure.
And it works all the time.
Yeah.
I really, really want you folks to talk to Eve, if not for yourself, either for the people of businesses that you don't like to listen to when you call them.
Right, exactly. If you hear like horrible on hold, you know, blaring music or something, you know, that would be somebody you should suggest to them that that's not very pleasing to the ear. And it's also, the biggest thing is, on hold message is a wasted opportunity to tell people what else you can offer them.
Right.
They are a captive audience. They are stuck on hold. Why not share with them all the things your company can do for them?
This is a no-brainer, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, it really is, and Eve can be so helpful, especially she has copywriters at her disposal, and let her own, she has her own creativity, but you should really look into this. I want you to give her a call. The courtesies, the call is courtesy. Obviously, the meeting is courtesy. The conversation is courtesy.
Absolutely.
Nothing happens until you and her both say yes.
Right.
Her number is 609-238-4370. Eve, it's been a wonderful having you on.
Thank
Really.
you.
Please stay with us again. Come back.
Absolutely.
Help out us small businesses sound better, look better, be more professional.
Thank
That's
you.
what we want.
I will.
Keith, how do we do?
Well, you did awesome.
Ladies and gentlemen, here we are, another beautiful day in the South Jersey area, spending time with you, breakfast with the boss, www.radiovisionnetwork.com. Call me if you want to talk to me about this, 609-922-0201. I'll be happy to talk to you and have you on the show. We're here each and every Thursday. Hope to see you soon. Enjoy the weather. Have a great week. See you later.